You're getting one.
Thanks.
You're getting two.
Oh.
You just got 2 claps.
Man, you're spoiling me.
No, you're a lucky person.
I'm a lucky gal.
Hey.
To have you in my life.
Welcome to the Fan Friction podcast. Hello, Josh.
Hi, Stuart.
Oh, cool. This is our podcast that we do.
There's a podcast, and in it we read bad fan fiction.
And so I figured I'd just fill in everybody who, is familiar with the podcast, but not familiar with the website, none of you. Josh has been helping out with the fan friction video game videos lately. He's done a couple, like the Star Fox videos and whatnot. And if you haven't seen those, you should probably watch them. They are entertaining.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
We're also top rated on gamerclips.com. But we'll talk more about that later and how cool we are.
Yeah, we'll plug that later.
Get that plug in there. For now, on to bad fanfiction. What were we going to read today?
All right, so you came across the Jonas Brothers fan fiction archive. So after,
Well, hold on. This needs a little more background than that. Where did that link go? So in hunting for bad fanfiction, I found a website called www.jonasbrothersfanfictionarchive.com.
What, you didn't have it bookmarked already?
Well, I did, but I forgot about it.
Oh.
But yeah, it is a website completely devoted to Jonas Brothers fanfiction. And you even have to make an account to read the fanfiction.
And after he was like, "Hey, I found this awesome website that I love and bookmarked and signed up an account for and everything," he sent it over to...
Paid money for it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a $15 monthly subscription fee.
$15 daily.
Daily.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have laughed.
Yeah, don't laugh at my decisions. All right? Jonas Brothers fanfiction means a lot to me. And now that it's all archived in one place, it's just, my soul.
I hear that this is the #1 Jonas Brothers fanfiction archive.
Yeah, since 2008. Yeah.
Ooh, wow. That's
They beat out the Jonas Brothers fanfiction library back in 2007. Before that was the top one.
Oh, really? Did the library overtake the catalog?
I don't know about catalog. Catalog was pretty bad.
I guess. I mean,
that one wasn't.
I guess it came at a time where that was the only thing we had available.
Yeah,
and so we kind of just dealt with it.
Yeah, it was like, I really want to read, because pretty much the only things on the internet at that point were Dancing Baby and Jonas Brothers fanfiction library, or catalog, sorry.
Right.
And yeah, it just kind of sucked. It was mostly just Dancing Baby on another website.
I loved reading Dancing Baby.
Yeah, well, I think if we're going back that far, that's pretty much what the Jonas Brothers were.
That's true.
So, what have we found here today, Josh? You actually found this one.
Right, so you brought up the website and you linked me to it, so I was reading over it and I happened upon a Twilight Jonas Brothers mashup. And let me see if I can actually bring up the... let me see here.
Take your time.
No, I'm going. Just, okay? Give me a sec. Oh, wait, no.
I'm giving you a second.
Hold on. Okay, count. So, the premise of this one is, what if there was a secret colon, someone named Joe Jonas, who wasn't as stable with his animal blood-only diet? Carlisle and Esme didn't know where he was. This is my first time reading it. Rosalie, Emmett, and Jasper kept their different distance. They're all brothers and sisters.
Are you reading the plot synopsis or the actual fanfiction?
I'm reading the plot synopsis.
Okay.
Alice couldn't find him in her visions. Bella never knew he existed. Edward feared him. So...
Okay, awesome.
All right, so now we're in the prologue. I believe this is chapter 1.
Yes, this is prologue, chapter 1. He's coming.
So
spelled not ironically. It's,
no, it's the correct spelling of the word. For now.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I should also note too, it's got like a poster for it too. Like when you go to the secret one, it's like the picture of who I assume is Joe Jonas, and he's all vampired out. He's like got a darker shadow and a paler face.
Because that's what makes people vampires.
Yeah, pretty much.
Really bad, like, exposure.
Yeah, basically.
I just looked at it. Yeah, his exposure's, like, cranked up a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you walk into you meet a vampire, like, this is all photoshopped wrong. and then they kill you because their animal blood makes them unstable or something.
But you can't forget the horrible like 80s horror film like font across it where it's like it's written in blood and it's dripped.
I'm really glad we're going into this visual aspect of the.
I'll throw up a picture.
Watch this on YouTube. If you're not watching this on YouTube, you're
not watching it.
Watching it in some other format, and that's dumb. Don't do that.
Can people watch our podcast in other formats?
Only there's YouTube, and then there's 3D, and that's it.
Like IMAX? Like it's going out in the theaters?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yep. You're gonna be able to find the complete collection of our podcasts in theaters in IMAX.
Hi, Mom. I assume it's going to be really big, so...
Yeah, it's going to be huge. Your mom will be there. Probably. Not.
She's always where Joe Jonas is, so...
Yeah, and she heard this was a Joe Jonas podcast, so... Hey, let's read this bad fanfiction so we can talk about something other than Joe Jonas.
Alright, since I read the synopsis, you go ahead and read the first chapter.
Alright. So should I read the whole chapter, or do you want to trade off on paragraphs there?
Considering a paragraph is like a line and a half, you can go ahead and read the entire thing, and we'll figure it out in chapter 2, depending on how long that is.
All right, so chapter 1, prologue. He's coming. Alice screamed in her large, extraordinary bedroom. Her eyes flashed different shades of gold as footsteps echoed down the hallway. Edward was the first one to burst into her room. "What's wrong, Alice?" Edward questioned. Him and the rest of their family crowded in her bed.
Well,
Crowded around her bed. Damn it, I can't read.
No,
did you see something? Yes, replied Alice. Her voice was wavering. I just can't believe it. What did you see?
Carlisle.
Why is there an S in Carlisle?
Because, like, it's like isle, like, you know, like those small...
Oh, like a
yeah.
Island. Almost said like a boat. Carlisle, her adopted, in quote, father asked he was staring her down with his caramel eyes.
Caramel?
No, it's caramel.
Okay.
You say tomato, I say tomato. I saw him, Alice said. It was Joe. Carlisle and Esme gasped. What?
Esme, it's Esme.
You're really gonna correct me on the Twilight characters?
Hey man.
You gonna do this right now?
I may or may not have read the books and watched the first movie, so I know how to say the words.
Okay, Rosalie and Emmett
Rosalie
had wide eyes.
And Emmett.
Jasper and Edward had expressions of fear. Joey...
It's pronounced fair, but okay.
Oh, okay. Joe was their secret sibling. He was the last Cullen to be brought into the family. But 3 years earlier, Carlisle found that his son was missing. Alice was seeing bits of Joe's future, but it was only tiny bits. Eyes flashing, fangs bared. He was attacking a defenseless woman and going against his vegetarian Cullen diet. What did you see of Joe? Esme required. Alice closed her eyes, as if trying to recall the vision. He's coming home, Alice finally told her family. Edward didn't wait any longer. He zipped out of the house and began to run. He had to warn Bella. I love that, like, oh no, this is really, really bad. It's Joe Jonas. I better zip out of the house.
Well, he's going to go warn Bella, so, okay? He's obviously doing the right thing.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to save Bella.
So basically, what happened do we discuss the chapter afterwards? This is my first thing.
I mean, yeah, we can talk about it, yeah.
I mean, it's like a book club, right? Except with really awesome fan fiction. Really
awesome is the key word there.
I mean, I had to pick the one with Twilight, because Twilight's the best.
I really like this one so far, because it seems to be pretty serious.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, it's obviously not satire. It's a real thing.
So is it Cullen or is it colon? Like what you have in your body? Like where you store your poop?
It's colon, hard EN. And it's
Colon.
Carlisle and Rosalie and Emmett. And... I don't even remember who Emmett is. Oh, No, I don't know who Emmett is.
Oh, man. You don't know who Emmett is?
No.
Gosh, can't even believe you right now.
Sorry, guys. Oh, Emmett is, Jasper's woman.
Oh, Jasper's woman.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all know. I mean, everybody knows who Jasper's woman is.
Maybe that was Rosalie. Hey, moving on to the next chapter.
All right. So chapter 2.
How do I go to chapter?
Chapter 1.
Okay, I found it. The Scent.
You're not
Chapter
very
2's The Scent.
The Scent.
This is not as long. Man, how are these called chapters and not that long?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty happy about that, because we were looking at other ones, and they were like 24,000 words long.
Yeah, that's like a fourth of a novel.
Yeah. It basically is a novel at that point.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're going to read it on a podcast.
If you're going to read it on... We should just do a 24-hour Jonas Brothers reading charity podcast, and all the charity money goes to rehabilitating our psyches after reading 24,000 words of Jonas Brothers fan fiction.
Can we give half of it to our psyches and half of it to the Jonas Brothers archive?
Yes.
No? Yeah? Okay.
Yes. Jonas Brothers archive deserves a lot of praise. I wonder if it's still doing stuff.
I don't know, man.
Let's see.
Is it? Let's
Yeah, at the very least, if you go to most recent on their website, yeah, there's stuff being uploaded today.
Wow, people still do this?
Yeah, there's
That's a 10,000 word count. No way.
There's somebody just uploaded a 10,500 word thing called Heartbreak Avenue by the Dark Angel.
It's
NC-17 too.
Oh.
Can you truly die of a broken heart? It has to do with alcohol abuse, drug abuse, eating disorder. I don't know a lot about Jonas Brothers. Do they have a lot of problems right now?
They did when this was written, so yes.
This was written today.
I know.
So then they have a lot of problems today.
That's what I said, isn't it?
No, you didn't say that.
I said that. I said that if they had a lot of problems when this was written. It's just covering my bases, dude.
Well, okay, yeah, I guess that's correct.
We should get back on track.
Should we? I don't really know. I don't know about
you.
I
don't know about you, but I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next.
All right, so chapter 2, chapter 1, The Scent.
Chapter 2, chapter 1?
Yeah, because the prologue was 1, then this is 2, but it's chapter 1, because chapter 1 goes after the prologue.
Oh, okay. The Scent. Joe Jonas ran, the wind blowing against his face. Okay.
Oh, this is a great visual image with the banner at the top. The Jonas Brothers just staring right at you.
They're staring into my soul.
They're staring into your soul, and then you just think about it like these are all vampires.
I didn't know this would be like the entire Jonas Brothers. I thought it would just be about Joe because that's what the synopsis was about.
Oh, I always thought Joe was the bad one. Joe was the one that I was like, if somebody's gonna kill a bunch of people as a vampire, it's Joe. It's gonna be Joe.
I mean, he is kind of like the biggest Jonas brother. He's the first one to grow a beard, so he's edgy.
He's the biggest one, thus he can kill the most people. And he needs the most to sustain his undead existence.
Exactly.
Alright, so we're one sentence in.
Well, we have to say these things. We have to discuss it line by line now.
This is gonna be... No, just keep going.
Okay. His brothers... Why are these in quotes? They're actually brothers this time.
It's not like her adopted father. It's like his brothers. Are they not brothers?
Close. His brothers, Nick and Kevin, were racing beside him. Joe had left his family, the Collins, 3 years earlier. He had taken the last name of Jonas after meeting Nick and Kevin. Are you reading ahead?
Yes.
They were two werewolves. The only two in the world that didn't hate vampires.
The only two in the world. They surveyed all werewolves. They all hate vampires. Except Nick and Kevin. So I guess that's the reason why brothers was in quotes. But
Okay.
Right.
Joe had to run fast and find prey. He needed to hunt because his thirst was growing stronger. Hopefully a human wouldn't get in his way, even though he didn't regret the last time it happened. Joe had been hunting right after abandoning the Collins and came across a hiker. The young woman wasn't aware of vampires. Joe was so focused on his prey, a large black bear, with the scent of a human had come from him upon had come upon him.
Hold on, it gets even better. It's about to get to the
No,
greatest sentence.
No,
Yes!
no, I love her. No. Taylor Swift, a popular country singer, was the victim. Oh no. My heart. I can't do it.
Yes, Taylor Swift
Was the victim.
This is why the Jonas Brothers are so much bigger than Taylor Swift right now.
I was wondering why she hasn't put out a new song lately. Joe had senselessly attacked her, but soon realized his actions. He had stopped taking away her precious blood and injected it in his poison. Joe had taken Taylor to his nearest home he could find. The place had been home to Nick and Kevin, twin werewolves. They kindly allowed Joe into their place. Knowing the werewolf were trustworthy, Joe had explained the incident and how Taylor would soon become a vampire. A long 3 days later, Taylor had stopped crying out.
3 days. All right.
Taylor had stopped crying out with the pain from Joe's venom. She was now like him, a strong vampire. Like Mo, she held a gift. Taylor could stun anything or anybody with her singing. It sure came in handy at some point.
At some point, we're not really sure when.
Eventually, who knows?
Yeah, she'll probably do some singing at some point.
That's
somewhere.
the writer's way of saying they don't want to continue on with writing about Taylor Swift. Hopefully, please don't bring her down with the Jonas Brothers here.
Oh, I see the word Taylor coming up.
No, you
later.
don't. Stop reading ahead. Stop reading ahead.
Like she gets attacked by a vampire while hiking by herself. Taylor Swift by herself, and then it's like, "Oh, I'm a vampire."
But keep in mind, he was originally hunting a black bear. So, she was right alongside a black bear, too. He was like, I'm going to kill this black bear. And then he turned to Taylor Swift and ate her instead, so.
And the black bear was like, I'm out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm Audi 5000, bitch.
And he got in an Audi 5000 and drove away.
It's an Audi 22.
No, this is the future.
A4. Oh, an A8, maybe? I don't know.
Did you not see that part?
Keep
reading!
We're almost to the... now Joe was returning... I don't remember where we were. Now Joe was returning to his parents' home. We're almost to the Colons, Joe told his companions.
Yes.
Taylor rushed behind him. Are you the slightest bit concerned? Am I doing voices or am I just reading?
Yeah, do go voices. That's
Taylor inquired, what if they've moved? And we're going to need something to quench our thirst very soon. Taylor...
So you get attacked by this guy. He turns you into a vampire, and you're like, yeah, I'll roll with him. Yeah, that seems good.
And obviously she knows about quenching their thirst very soon. She knows a lot about becoming a vampire, even though this is like the first time she's a vampire. Like, this is the first 5 minutes of her becoming a vampire.
Well, no, because there's not really clear how long they've known each other. It's kind of weird. It's all jimble-jambled.
Well, it's 3 days.
Is it 3 days?
It's been 3 days. Remember, she was searing from a long 3 days of her being in pain?
Yeah, but when did... Okay, we're looking too far into this.
No, because Taylor Swift didn't know anything about vampires before, remember?
But it's not like he just left. Like, he's been gone for a while. Like, he met Nick and Kevin prior to this. That's how he was able to know that they were trustworthy.
No, this is when he met them.
So he met them and immediately knew they were trustworthy.
Yes.
Okay.
See? He chose a random home, the nearest home he could find. The place had been home to Nick and Kevin, twin vampires. They kindly allowed Joe into their house. Knowing the werewolves were trustworthy somehow, Joe had explained what had happened. So, he attacked Taylor Swift. He found a house that was closest to him. And somehow there were werewolves, thank God, that didn't hate vampires.
But we don't know how long they've been rolling together. Like, it's not like 3 days later this happened, and then, like, I feel like there's a time jump between, like, Taylor Swift turning into a vampire and them going to kill the Cullens, or whatever they're doing right
That's true.
So maybe that's why
I see
Taylor
what you're
Swift
saying.
is really good as a vampire right now, which is probably one of the most ridiculous things I've ever said in my entire life.
No, I think it's the same time frame. See, it says a long 3 days later, Taylor had stopped crying out from the pain of Joe's venom. She was now like him. Now is the key word there because it's still in the same time frame.
She was not. No, that doesn't mean the same. She was now like him. Like she was now no longer
after
human.
the 3. Yeah, exactly. After the 3 days, she was now like him, a strong vampire. Like Moshi held a gift. Taylor could stun anybody or anything with her singing. It would come in handy at some point. That's all in one time frame. Yes. Now again, right after that sentence. Now Joe was returning home to his parents.
Yes. So
I'm sorry. Time jump to where the beginning of the prologue was. Okay, I got you.
Yes.
So that entire first paragraph we just read was a backstory to what is happening currently.
Because otherwise you would be confused why Taylor Swift was a vampire and hanging out. But everything else, we just accept. We just know that Joe Jonas is a vampire.
I don't know.
And then Nick and Kevin are werewolves. But and also, in their off time, are they doing Jonas Brothers stuff?
Well, duh. That's how we know about them.
Oh, okay.
That's why they're so successful. And so same with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, because their singing will probably come in handy at some point.
Well, she said that it could stun people.
Yeah, that's one word for her singing.
I personally love it. We're almost to the Colons, Joel told his companions. Taylor rushed beside him. Are you the slightest bit concerned? I already read this text. What if they've moved and they're going to need our quench our thirst very soon?
Nice reading, dude.
I already read it, so okay.
All right.
I'm not worried, Joe said. And once we arrive, I'll ask them about the best hunting spots. Hopefully there's no humans nearby. You know I have a hard time controlling myself. You would know, bitch.
Yeah, because I ate you, sort of.
Joe grinned evilly. Taylor wasn't his final victim. Joe had been hunting only months earlier and killed an old man with his daily jog. Joe! Taylor started.
I really hope, then it turns out that the old man was, Bob Dylan, and Bob Dylan's running alongside them now.
Or Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash, yeah, that would work for me.
Well, he is dead. I don't think Bob Dylan's dead yet, so.
I don't think he is either, considering he's alive.
Yeah, exactly. Joe! Taylor started. You're crazy! I've only been a vampire for a few years, and you've been one for 80. You should be able to contain your cravings for humans.
It's a very exposition-heavy sentence, Taylor.
Joe only smirked larger. It wasn't at Taylor's voice or the fact that he was recalling a funny memory, though. He smelled blood. Blood that was sweeter than any other. Joe didn't know it, but he was catching the scent of Bella Swan. Oh my god!
Oh my god! I think we should leave it on that cliffhanger. We'll come back to this whenever we do another podcast next. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the secret one?
It's so good. It's so good that I don't want to come back to it. I just want to keep reading it. I'll probably read through it as soon as we're done with the podcast, so that I have it pre-read in my head.
Start writing your own.
Yeah, I can write this. The Secret 2. The Secret 2.
The Secret 2. I really would like it if you would self-insert yourself into the Secret 2. So it's the Jonas Brothers, Taylor Swift, Bob Dylan, and Josh were all running to go fight the Cullens.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen with the Cullens yet, right? So they can still be friends.
We don't. It sounds like that. He's looking for a secret hunting spot where there aren't people around. But then he seems just fine with killing people too. One second he's I know I shouldn't eat people. Oh wait, there's a person. I'm gonna go eat this person.
Well, it's not like he's consciously wanting to go out and kill people. He's I need to find the best hunting spots from the Cullens so that he doesn't have to eat people. But if he does see a person, he doesn't have the self-control, which is what Taylor says. And you should be able to contain your cravings for humans.
No, because. Can Taylor what is it about Joe Jonas that just makes him so murderous?
Well, he doesn't. We don't know that yet.
Yeah, we're gonna learn.
Right.
And that'll be what I'm sure everyone's excited to hear. Why Joe Jonas is a murderer.
Well, he's not. He's
murderer.
I mean, do you call it a murder when a lion kills a gazelle?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, yeah, this is murder.
I also call it murder when a lion kills a person. Because I wouldn't say he murdered a bear, or I would, but I would say it not meaning it. But he basically vampires are undead beings. He killed Taylor Swift.
Technically, but she's still alive.
Okay, I kill you, Josh,
okay.
And I bring you back from the dead.
Okay,
I still killed you.
Do I still have my consciousness?
Yeah, you're still you.
Then
I brought you back from the dead.
Okay, so you killed me, but brought me back. So it's not
I still killed you. Though.
But I wouldn't try you for murder.
You wouldn't try me for murder if I killed you?
And brought me back? No, man. We're all good. Especially if you brought me back with kick-ass vampire powers. And I could hang out with Joe Jonas and the Cullens. And
immediately know if werewolves were trustworthy. Which, by the way, if they're the only true trustworthy... Or the only two werewolves that don't hate people...
I mean, it said it...
Wouldn't you immediately assume, because they're werewolves, that they're not trustworthy for you?
Well, maybe he could smell their friendliness. Vampires
Smell
can do
friendly. Is that? I don't know. I mean, I guess they can read minds, except for Bella's because she doesn't have a brain.
No, the only vampires that can read minds is Alice. And really? she can only predict the future. She can't really actually read minds. I thought there was a scene in the movie where Edward's like, I can read everybody's mind, but yours. No, he's like I can kind of tell what everybody's thinking, but he can't actually read their minds. Okay. Yeah, that'd be stupid.
That would be stupid. That would be the part that would be stupid.
Yeah, I believe he told her that when they were hanging out in the trees that one time.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of NC-17 fan fictions on this Jonas Brothers website.
I was really hoping to get some gay Jonas sex.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were. I think we got the better thing though.
Yeah, man. Twilight, Jonas Brothers. This is actually really... I want to keep reading it.
We'll read it next podcast.
Next podcast.
So immediately stop listening to this podcast, listener, and move on to the next podcast.
Which is superior in every single way.
It's actually, I've already heard it. It's so much better.
It's pretty great.
I mean, how would you rate our comedy in that podcast?
Do we rate it the same way we rate our gamer clips videos?
Yes.
Because a 10.
Then that's how we rate everything, because we don't have... Like, why rate your stuff any less than 10?
Exactly.
So, nice segues are weird. Hey, gamer clips.
Yeah, hey, I segued that pretty well, and I didn't mean to.
Good job there.
So, I found a website, browsing Reddit, called Gamer Clips, and it's like a shittier YouTube, but it's more focused into gaming.
So it's YouTube.
Kind of like YouTube. You took the words out of my mouth. So, I took it upon myself to sign us up. I guess I asked Stuart first, but, whatever. Who cares about him? I need to take all the glory. And
you can in this case.
Thank you. So, I signed us up for that, and we have a gamerclips.com profile now. So, you should check it out.
Yeah, well, the best part about it is it's a pretty small website. Like, the most popular videos don't really seem to have a lot of views.
I think the most popular video I saw was 1,000 views.
Yeah, like, let's see. Like, I'm on the website now, and the top video is Earn Glimmer Faster in Destiny. And it's got... Okay, so it's got about 1,500 from this website.
Yeah.
On YouTube, it's got about 1,500 also. Which, good for him. Good on you. But oh, damn, they fixed it. So for a little while, though, we were on the top weekly clips, man.
Yeah, from not us voting for it.
Because we voted on our own clips, and that put us all the way up.
Well, we were already like 4th or something.
No, we weren't even on it, man.
We weren't?
We were close.
Oh,
But us voting for our own videos, that's what put us up to the next level, man.
We need to start doing that.
Yeah, well, we're not on it anymore, so they caught on to our tricks.
Well, as they always should not do. They shouldn't do that.
Nice.
Sorry. I swear I'm on our team.
As they should not do.
Team Stu. Team Josh.
Electric Boogaloo.
But forget about Team Bella. Team Joe, all the way. If there's one thing you should take away from this podcast, it's always Team Jonas.
I want shirts that say Team Joe.
Team Joe, I would get Team Taylor. Like Taylor Swift, because she's obviously better than Joe.
No, I feel like Joe's going to win, because do you think... Okay, next question. Speculatory. Do you think Joe is going to seduce Bella?
Bella?
Mm-hmm.
No. I think he's going to drink Bella.
He's going to drink Bella. He's going to turn Bella into a vampire.
No, he's just going to kill her.
Okay.
Or try to. Because in the prologue, that's where Edward was running off to protect her, because he sensed that Joe was coming.
I love that it's like, Joe is coming. I know he's going to go for Bella. Like, I just know it. It's like he read the next episode or something.
Well, Edward's a very smart person.
Does she smell really, like, a lot?
Okay, so in the books, her blood is, like, super, like, good for some reason. Like, Edward noticed it, and he was like, oh, I need you, but I can't have you. But every other vampire is like, I need to suck your blood right now. Like, even, like, a even like a really good vampire, like he's really trained Jasper, he was like in the military and everything in like the 1800s or early 1900s or something.
And we all know the 1800s was the best time to be in the military.
Yes. So he had a really good self-control. He's like 300 years old, 200 years old. And she cut herself on some glass at a wedding or a reception or something. And he attacked her right then and there. And Edward and Alice, I think, had to jump in there and save her.
Interesting. So did you like the Twilight books?
Nope. Yes.
But you read them all.
I read them all.
You know, I won't judge you. I mean, I will behind your back, and I'll post about it on like message boards and stuff like that.
At the time, while I was reading them in 9th grade, I did. And keep in mind, 9th grade was like 8 years ago, so.
9th grade was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was maybe not 9. Did I say 8?
12?
7 or 8. 7 or 8 years ago.
30? 30 years ago?
35 and a half years ago. Because we are in March. April, August, September. We're in September. Don't laugh at my dating. Speaking of dating, I would love to date Taylor Swift as a vampire.
I don't know, man. I feel like she's got some weird attachment to Joe Jonas to be like, are the Jonas Brothers a thing? Because I feel like that'd be one thing if like you got attacked and you're like, damn it, I got killed by this vampire and now I'm a vampire. This is so frustrating. Like my reaction would be, I'm done, man. I'm just gonna go do my own vampire thing. Like I don't want to hang out with you. Like you're a dick. But if it was the Jonas Brothers, I'd be like, well, hold on. This is weird. Why are you famous rock star hooligans also mythical creatures? Do they have a lost Jonas brother who's like also a unicorn or something?
Or
that would be incredible.
Like how the Colons have a lost colon. I said colon like a stomach thing.
Yeah.
Colon has a lost colon named Joe Jonas, but Joe Jonas joined the brothers Nick and Kevin. So Nick and Kevin are actually brothers, right?
Yes, they're actually brothers.
Okay, so Joe joined Nick and Kevin, and then after he joined them, so I'm gonna assume this is like 2006 when they started to become big, or 7.
Oh well, this was written in 2012. Let's also note that.
Well, it was written in 12, but it goes back to the backstory, right? So
the backstory is about 3 years ago when he killed Taylor Swift. So.
Well, no. Well,
that's what it says. That's what it says.
Well, okay, yeah, I get that. Like he killed Taylor Swift 3 years ago in the canon, but the canon isn't in 2014 or 2012. It's in 2010 because he couldn't have been big before he met Nick and Kevin because the Jonas Brothers are Jonas Brothers. And he met Nick and Kevin before he killed Taylor Swift, or while he was killing Taylor Swift.
Well, we can go balls out on this one. Does Twilight, does it have a date to it?
Twilight came out when I was in 2009.
Right, but does the story of Twilight, whatever?
It's 2008, 2009, yeah.
So we can extrapolate what year it is based on Edward and Bella's relationship currently.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Yeah, it definitely makes sense because that, let's just say, rounding up, worst case scenarios, 2010 is, because I don't remember the time frame in the books, how long they lasted from like book 1 to book 4. Okay. But let's just say book 4 ended at 2010. So it was a year after they all met and everything. 2010. 3 years before that was 2007, which is right around the time Nick, Kevin, and Joe became super big, right?
Okay.
So 3 years before that, he met them. They got big. Same with Taylor Swift, really. She got big alongside them.
Well, it's the vampire powers. Though, how did Joe resist slaughtering his entire audience?
Because he was already... He made sure to feast before going to a show.
I just like to imagine, like, Disney's like, all right, we're having the Jonas Brothers concert. You brought in the orphans, right? Because, Joe, without those orphans, we are going to have a bloodbath. Oh, good, you got the orphans. All right.
You made sure to get the ones on like discount, like sale, right? Because
bargain orphans.
We can't afford the full price, like name brand organs. I mean,
name brand
orphans. Those aren't Abercrombie and Fitch orphans, right?
I got the 3 for $1 orphans.
That's the best deal, man. How'd you get that? eBay?
eBay, yeah, eBay orphans. It's horrible. Oh, well, at least they turn into little vampire Taylor Swifts or whatever.
Well, they
Joe
don't
Jonas.
because he kills them. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, remember he only spared Taylor Swift once he knew she was Taylor Swift.
So that's how it works. If you're a celebrity, the vampires will save you. But if you're just like Joe with your dog going out for a morning jog, you're doomed. You're gonna die.
Yep, sadly.
I wish that guy would have been somebody though, like Bob Dylan or something. I know I keep harping on the Bob Dylan, but yeah, he could have been like John Cougar Mellencamp or something. I don't know.
We've thrown out 3 names: John Cougar Mellencamp, Bob Dylan, and what was the other one?
You threw out Johnny Cash, who is dead.
Johnny Cash. Yeah, exactly. So like he died in the public eye, and then he continued living as a vampire.
Teamed up with the Jonas quotation marks brothers, and they're fighting against the Cullens or something. Not really sure what's happening.
Well, Taylor Swift would be part of the Jonas Brothers because now she's working with them, right?
Yeah,
so she's a brother now. She's a Jonas brother.
It's kind of tough to tell. Like how often do they have to be like, "Hey, sorry, I can't go people hunting with you this weekend. I gotta go on tour."
Right. I can't, guys. We can't fight right now. We have to go on tour. So
like, is this like the first time they're like their schedules finally like work out? Like, oh, you're not on tour? Okay, yeah, no, I'm not recording anything. Okay, let's go to the Cullens.
Yeah, let's go beat them up.
How should we get to the Cullens? Yeah, let's run. Oh, okay, yeah, running. That's probably the best way to get there.
Well, duh, they're vampires. They run at like 1,000 miles an hour.
That would like rip you apart.
They had when they were shooting the film, they actually had to slow it down so that they could capture them on footage.
Wait, the vampires?
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
We're bringing the slow-mo guys. Here's a vampire running. Oh, it's 1,000 miles per hour. Oh, it doesn't rip them apart for some reason.
Well, that's because they're vampires, man.
Does the vampire ever get shot by a gun in the Twilight movies? Or
not in Twilight, I don't think. Maybe her dad shot a vampire. I can't remember that.
Because I feel like if you got shot by a gun and it did something to you, running at 1,000 miles an hour would like rip you apart.
Well, keep in mind a bullet travels at like miles an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll edit in the speed.
No, you won't. We all know you won't. It's
too much work. I know.
Yeah, you're gonna have a hard time even just editing in the picture of the secret one.
No. I mean, probably, but okay. Give me some credit.
No.
How long have we been doing this?
Like half an hour.
Too long. Too long.
Too long to be talking about Jonas Brothers fan fiction, or not enough. I don't know. This is probably like. What are our topics of conversation this podcast? Which is typically where we talk about, on this podcast, video games. We've talked about Twilight. We've talked about the Jonas Brothers. We've tried to figure out the chronology of this.
With the already established Twilight.
In the Twilight fan story. And then we've also talked about whether a vampire would get ripped in half if they went 1,000 miles an hour.
Well.
What a productive day.
This is what people want.
This is what.
Oh, we also plugged our gamer thing.
Oh,
gamer
yeah, go to our gamer thing.
Gamerclips / fanfiction.com. Gamer Clips.
I wonder if anybody ever made a Twilight video game.
I hope so.
Let's see. Twilight video game.
So I'll just riff while you do that.
Yeah, you should.
So Taylor Swift is obviously working with the Cullens now. It's just whether when she finds out that Joe's going to go, or not Cullens, I'm sorry, with the Jonas Brothers, if she finds out that Joe's going to kill Bella, is she going to interfere or get in the way or stop him? That's the main question we have going here. Because we know Taylor Swift in our world is a nice, caring, compassionate person.
Yeah, well, we all know. So there's no Twilight video game.
No Twilight video game?
Yeah, there's something from Robot Chicken, but like, who cares? That's not.
I mean, that's a video.
There's also like who's seen it, like, but like the word "seen," like SCEN.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
anyone
so
who plays
that.
video games knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, because what's the most popular game with MLG people? Oh, it's who's seen it.
Dude, I got 15 questions in a row, right, bro?
Bro. 360 answer. Just spins around in the chair and then yells out, "It's Bella."
In the process, he knocks over his Mountain Dew. God damn it, fucking lag!
We should do MLG Who's Seen It.
We should just do an MLG series where we MLG a bunch of crappy games.
Games that don't warrant MLG.
Like Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. Well, you can kind of MLG Candy Crush.
I meant Candyland, the board game, but whatever.
You can't. I love that game because whoever's gonna win, it's already been decided. You just draw the top card of the deck and you move to where that is, and that's the game. That's all there is to it.
Well, it's made for like 3-year-olds, man.
Yeah, and I mean it's fine for 3-year-olds. Like, don't get me wrong, but I mean, and it's better than Battleship, but it's still rather silly.
Well, Battleship has some strategic. You can throw in.
Battleship has no strategy.
Yeah, it's just.
I've said this once, and I'll say it again. Battleship is the worst game ever made.
I always just stack my ships on top of each other so that they can never kill them all.
There's another trick a friend of mine does where he hangs one of the ships off the board a little bit so that nobody can ever guess it because the letter combination doesn't exist.
Okay, so that sounds like cheating. So we need to address that. Who's your friend? Because
I can't.
You can't call him out. Okay, well,
I would call him out, but I'm worried that the cheat police would get him.
I would get a riot started and pitchforks and fire and go to his house and beat him up.
Hey, you cheated at Battleship?
I'm
gonna hang you, man.
Oh wow,
sure.
that got dark.
Well, yeah, it's Battleship. You gotta take it seriously. Apparently.
He's not Andy, right?
No, it's not Andy.
Okay, good. I wouldn't want my actions misinterpreted.
It's Ian from the Accomplish Nothing series that I was.
Hey, you guys should go watch Accomplish Nothing.
Hey,
I don't know if you plugged that before. It's pretty good.
You're good. You don't need to watch Accomplish Nothing.
You should. It's
pretty.
pretty.
It exists. That's good.
I'm sorry I plugged something you didn't want to be plugged.
God, you just plugging on my plugs, man. What are you plugging, man?
Sorry.
Just all over my plugs.
I didn't mean to plug it. I'm sorry.
Checking the plugins, man.
I'm sorry. Okay, I just thought you wanted to plug.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, who leaves their plugs open to be plugged without plugging them themselves?
That sounds really gross.
Only if you make it gross.
Or plumbery.
What?
Like a plumber, like they would fix it.
I was thinking like you're like rowing your boat in the river and like you spring a hole and you have to plug it.
Well, that too.
With like a sink plug, like in a cartoon. Like they pull out a giant sized sink plug and put it in there. Like a water stopper.
Do you have that with you when you're on a boat? Like, oh, my sink plug.
They didn't Tom and Jerry, so okay.
What you know about like sea travel, Tom and Jerry.
I know that I'll never go on the ocean because I'm scared of it.
Yeah, no, forget the ocean, man. The ocean's like the worst place in the world.
Yeah, I mean, people die.
People die in the ocean all the time. On land, people are fine. No, who's ever drowned on land? Nobody.
Not me.
Impossible.
I mean, I'm sure an ostrich has drowned on land before once or twice.
Yeah, well, their brains are the size of
a pea.
Pea or something. I don't know. So, not the ocean. They're not the size of the ocean.
Well, really, who's are? Other than the oceans.
Other than whales, there's a
Yeah.
Hey, this podcast's gone off the rails, man. What have you been playing any video games lately? That's usually a safe topic.
No.
No, you don't play video games.
I've been reading Twilight though.
Oh, that's right. You've been reading a lot of books lately, man.
I have. I
didn't take you as a book reader.
Yeah, I love books, man. Right now I've been reading through like some nostalgia books that I read when I was in like 6th grade.
Nostalgia.
So they're not super high level.
Do you remember that time that this happened? Good times. Nostalgia book.
Well, I'm reading Suzanne Collins. She's the Hunger Games lady.
Okay.
Before she wrote the Hunger Games, she wrote something called Gregor the Overlander. And I read that.
That is the nerdiest name I've ever heard. It sounds like a sci-fi original movie.
It's really... I hate the title of it. Like, when I have to tell people the name of it, I'm like, ugh. But it's a really good book. The dialogue's excellent. Each character feels like an individual character, even the passerbys. Which is something a lot of modern books have a problem with now. Like, you write 16 characters in, and they're pretty much interchangeable. One's girl, one's guy. Fair. It's something I can't get behind. So, Suzanne Collins, I won't read her Hunger Games books just because they're super mainstream, and I don't want to be let down.
Yeah, and you're a hipster. Yeah.
I'm a hipster, all right. I did know about Suzanne Collins before she was super popular and had movie deals and stuff. But... Wow. Yeah, I read all 5 of those books in like a week, and then I just finished...
Gregor the Overlander?
Gregor the Overlander, yeah.
So there's 5 books to Gregor the Overlander.
Yes.
Okay. Wanted to make sure I was up to code with my Gregor the Overlander.
It goes Gregor the Overlander, the Prophecy of the Bane, Curse of the Warm Bloods, Marks of Secret, and then Code of Claw. I know.
Oh man, I play Dungeons and Dragons, and I feel like cooler than you right now.
Shut up, man. then I read The Midnighters, and it's about a secret hour at midnight.
Sorry, nothing you say is gonna beat Gregor the Overlander at this point.
I'm not trying to beat it.
For me, but yeah, sorry, The Midnighters.
Yeah, that's a book by the guy who did Peeps. And that was a really big book. I can't remember William something. I can't remember his name.
William probably wrote a book at some point.
He wrote a book. I don't know about reading one. And it's about a secret hour at midnight, and I read that one. And then
wait, the secret hour of midnight?
Like at midnight, there's an extra hour, so there are actually 25 hours in the day instead of 24. And only a few select people who are born at midnight in one town can actually be like breathing and able to move in it. So like for people like you and me, if I'm like right now in my time, it's 12:01. Mm-hmm. I would be frozen solid until 1 o'clock. But awake or not, like right now, like it's be like right now, and then at 1 o'clock it'd be like now. But it'd be like 12:01. It'd be like
yeah. So they just got like now. Do they have like a watch so they can figure out what time? Because I feel like that'd be annoying. Like if you were like going around like getting some groceries, what time was frozen, and then all of a sudden time unfroze with people around you.
Yeah,
and you weren't wearing any pants.
One of the things about midnight is you kind of go by the moon because no technology works in the midnight hour. So until the main character came along, Jessica Day, and she was she was called the Flamebringer, I think, and she brought technology into the secret hour.
I mean, hold on. There's got to be a better name than Flamebringer for somebody who figures out how to keep electricity on.
Well,
okay, could they not start fires?
They couldn't.
No, they couldn't do anything.
Okay, so it's like primitive technology. The Darklings in it. The Darklings, right? They used to hunt humans a long time ago.
This sounds like the worst magical ability. Like, for an hour a day, nothing works. And it's dark.
No, it's not dark. It's illuminated by the... No, I know, but the moon turns blue.
And that doesn't help?
No, everything's illuminated blue, so you don't need light.
Yeah, but then everything's blue.
But it's still
And what do you
lit.
do for an hour? Like... Do people just sleep through this time and get like another hour of sleep?
You actually can't sleep through it. So
oh my god. That's the worst.
I mean, everyone has their different powers. Like Jonathan, he can fly, basically. He has like super light gravity, so he can jump really high.
So they have powers in addition to being able to survive an extra hour.
Yes.
Because otherwise, that's just horrible. It's just like, and it's midnight.
Yeah, it's not an average person, and they're fighting for their lives and everything. It's crazy.
So there are things trying to kill them during that time.
Yes.
Okay.
So in a less nerdy, horrible, and teenagery book, I've been reading I don't have it off the top of my head. It's who's it by? Piers Anthony, and he's a super well established author and. He does have some really like teenagery, like really bad like sex books or whatever. Like
teenage sex books, all right.
Like 50 Shades of Grey, right? He has some.
I don't think she was a teenager in that one, but all right.
Well, a bunch of teenagers and moms and stuff read them.
Teenage moms read them.
I mean, so the series is called Incarnations of Immortality, and it's like a modern take of like death, and then the 3 stages of fate, and then war, and like they're incarnations of immortality, and then it's a kind of a war between the God and the devil to see if they can get the most human souls into their things. But God doesn't cheat or interfere because he's God, right? So he just sits up and lets everything happen. But the devil interferes in everything, and he tries to get the incarnations on his side so that he can.
I'm pretty sure you're just reading
get more
the Bible.
souls. I'm not. And then, of course, all the Halo books I've read.
Which are also the Bible, I'm pretty sure.
For me.
Yeah.
And then,
have you read all the Halo books?
I have. I just read through them all again.
Aren't they, like, not canon anymore?
They're all canon.
I thought, like, the Reach one wasn't
nope.
canon. Are you just saying that?
Yep.
Okay.
Bungie fucked everything up. They're still fucking stuff up with Destiny because that game sucks. They wouldn't let people. They wouldn't. It. No, they don't. They wouldn't let reviewers review it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, okay, reviewers, you have to wait a whole day before you can review our game. They're just covering their asses because they know the game sucks.
I don't know, man. Like, I've played it. It seems pretty fun. And my friends who own it seem to like it. And they bought it.
Uh-huh.
And they're like level 9 or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Level 9 takes like 30 minutes to get to.
It takes longer than that.
A couple hours.
A few hours, yeah. I don't know, man. Seems pretty good.
It's going to be like a boring MMO.
Do you like MMOs? Because that's the other question. Yeah, see.
But I do like shooters and I like Bungie games. They failed in the competitive, like, multiplayer part of it, which I played.
My experience with the competitive multiplayer was, I can summon a motorcycle, and that's all I did. I just drove around on a motorcycle, because that thing was so fun to drive.
That was a lot of fun to drive. I had a lot of fun driving it.
Yeah, and I think that was about all I was good for. There was one game where I went, like, I don't know, like 10-1 or something, and that's, like, good for me. I was like, oh, crap. And then every other game, I just got slaughtered, so.
Yeah, the game wasn't very good.
In your
the multiplayer wasn't very good. Well, in a lot of people's opinions.
I like the story. I was playing the story mode, though, and I was really digging it. But I was also playing it with a friend. Like, I will admit, if I was playing it by myself, I probably wouldn't be having as much fun. Which, it's a pretty easy statement to say. But, like, I don't know. Like, I equate it to kind of like Borderlands. Like, Borderlands is kind of fun by yourself. But,
yeah, I had a blast playing that.
But, like, when you play it with some friends, it's like, like, the fun level just ramped up.
Yeah, Austin and I played that game for a long time on the PC version, or the computer version of it.
Yeah.
And I had a blast playing it. I had a really good time. But then we took, like, a month break and went back to it, and I just couldn't get into it again. So I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe I just can't do those types of games.
I got to the end of Borderlands 2, and I'm, like, pretty close to the end, I'm pretty sure, and I just can't bring myself to beat it, and it's because I stopped playing it for, like, a few days, and, yeah. It's like, I think if you have to beat Borderlands, you have to just do it all in one sitting. Just like, alright, I got 30 hours, let's go!
Yeah, it was like, I woke up and I would say, hey, you available to play? And be like, yeah, I'm on right now, so I'd join him and we'd play it, and then we'd go to sleep, and then we'd basically wake up and play it again. And we did that for a couple days, and then after that, I was like, I don't want to play it. Man. It's also that he went on without me, and he's like level 50, and I'm like level 35 or something, so it's I don't...
That's kind of my other thing. Like, every time I'd show it to a friend, because I'd play split screen with some people, and every time I'd start the game over with them, because I don't like playing where, like, everybody's different levels.
Yeah.
So, it just meant that I played the beginning so many times, and now I think about it like, ooh, man, I want to play Borderlands with some people. No, I don't. I don't want to play the beginning. I don't.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. I played the beginning like 6 times. I don't want to play games beginning that many. That's why I don't like RPGs. It's like you have to start over when you start over.
Yeah, and there's usually a lot of text and stuff at the beginning.
Yep.
Like, I really liked in Oblivion. Kind of sucked because it was like, all right, I'm in the middle of nowhere and I hate this place, but I liked that you could just, like, okay, you got your character creation. Okay, you don't have to go through the whole thing where the king gets killed and all that. You just go on with your life and just make your character there.
Yeah, the thing about Oblivion I remember is that I made my cat, and immediately after I went to the death arena and tried to fight, it was fun. But I can't play games like that. Like, I just tweeted a whole bunch about me hating on Skyrim. I can't do Skyrim or any of those RPGs, MMOs, anything like that.
I like Skyrim because it's just a power fantasy at a certain point. Because it's like, the beginning of the game is, okay, kind of challenging. You're figuring it out. How do I exploit this? What am I doing? And then there's a certain point where you realize that enchanting's really, really good. And then you, like, raise your enchanting skill, then make an item that raises your enchanting skill, then use your new enchanting skill from that item to make even better and then all of a sudden you just have all these broken items, and then it's like, oh, there's a dragon. As soon as it lands, I chop off its head. It's like, these things used to be a challenge. Now I'm just waiting for them to land so I can murder them.
Right.
Dragon's like, I don't want to land.
I'm gonna see you later, man. It's good seeing you, man.
I don't want to be here.
But I hear mods make a lot of those games a lot more fun after you're done with them.
There's I watch a lot of Red Super, and they've made fun of a few mod videos for Skyrim, and a lot of them seem to involve the mods. I mean, there's some really cool mods. Like there's one that makes like melee combat really cool. You know, like it makes it more kind of kung fu-y, and like that's really cool. But a lot of the mods just seem to give the female characters gigantic boobs.
Awesome, man! I want to start playing that game tomorrow.
Gigantic boobs and nude mods. Yeah.
The mods I know of are whenever they do shouts, they fart instead. And
of course, I would laugh like a child at that one. God, that laugh I just did that was a child's laugh.
Well, it was for a very good cause.
Okay.
And then for the dragons, they all sounded like Macho Man Randy Savage. Hello, brother. So that was a lot of fun watching that. Since I don't ever play the game.
I liked that one.
So I'm reading. I accidentally read ahead in the
accidentally
the secret one. We should finish reading this, man.
Dude, we'll read it next time.
Next time.
And then we'll discuss for way too long about the fucking whatever.
I'm
just talking about that whole the whole thing.
I'm gonna bookmark this page. I hope no one looks at my bookmarks for a little while.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it too. But if anybody's like, your bookmarks are weird, I'll just say your face is weird, and then they're done.
Oh my god, you would say that to a person?
I would shut them down that hard.
Dude, they'd get a friction burn from being shut down that hard.
A fan friction burn.
Heyo!
Hey, this is probably a good spot to stop the podcast then. Epic burn.
I mean, do we stop the podcast like that? We don't say an outro or anything? Hey, thanks for watching, or thanks for listening?
Well, I guess we haven't really done an outro before. What do you think would be a good outro?
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Fan Friction Contest. Contest? Something like that, but not bad.
You should just end it on, hey, thanks for listening to the Fan Friction Contest. Oh, fuck. I like that ending.
Okay, cool.
Alright, good.
Stop recording.
Alright, I guess I'll stop recording. Yes. Whatever.